So are you dealing with anxiety when you ride? Do you find afraid of riding your bike? Maybe you just came back to riding after a long time, or maybe you had a difficult experience, or you ran into someone like that. I'm about to give you a couple tips on how to deal with situations like that. Stick around. So yeah, today let's talk about riding anxiety or fear and how to deal with it, or at least how I dealt with it when I came back to riding after 10 years of not having a motorcycle. So I think the first thing that you have to do when you're dealing with fear is identifying the source. Why are you afraid? What is that's causing you anxiety about doing this thing that you love, right? It could be many things. I mean, you just saw right on cue on the intro of the video, somebody just ready to cut me off. And she looked like she was looking straight at me too, and was about to pull a U-turn right in front of me. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not valid. Fear can be a healthy thing, right? You need to have a healthy level of fear or respect for the sport that you're engaging in, the motorcycle, the road, and the other people. But once you know what the cause is, then quite possibly the most important thing that you can do is jump into action. One thing that you can do is practice, right? Just practice. Start small and practice. Go to an empty parking lot, practice defensive maneuvers, practice braking under distress, practice turning the bike so that you're confident on your skills. That will help you deal with the source of that fear. I wanna point something out, that riding, while it's a good way to create muscle memories, riding itself is not practice. You need to practice for emergency situations, and this takes a little bit of creativity, right? You can just imagine an obstacle on a parking lot and you swerving around it, swerving into a stop, swerving to avoid an object and continue riding, leaning harder or leaning less to just evade something. Just things like that. Just get creative. And there are a lot of YouTubers that actually share great resources about that. So just Google those. That's not what I do. I'm not here to teach you slope speed maneuvers. There are actually YouTubers that are instructors. That's what I do. I watch them. I watch Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. He's Simmons. He's very good. So check him out and get ideas on what to practice on. The most important thing you can actually do, take the course. Take the motorcycle safety course if you haven't. And if you have, and it's been a long time, take it again. If you're a little too advanced for the basic safety course, then take the next step up, take the middle. Like I'm planning on taking some of the mid to advanced courses in the future. And when I do, I'll let you guys know. But that's another thing that you can do. It is part of my plan, even though I'm not dealing with anxiety or fear when I ride, other than what I consider healthy fear and respect, which helps me be alert, you know. So even though I don't deal with that crippling fear and anxiety of riding anymore, I dealt with it in the past, but not anymore. I still plan on advancing my skills because it is one of the best tools to our, you know, one of the best tools we can have to enjoy this sport as safely as possible. The next thing, and I mentioned this before, is gear. Dress for the slide, not the ride, they say. And I know it can be annoying, dude. I feel you. I feel you. Look, I'm a big proponent of do you, right? So if you don't wanna wear gear, then you know what? That's fine. That's up to you. You can choose, dude. Like what the hell? So like I understand. I respect that. Like if you don't want to wear gear, you don't want to wear a helmet, you don't want to wear a jacket, hey, that's up to you. You know, everyone does what makes them happy, and I'm all for that. You do you. But my thing is, if you are dealing with anxiety about riding, if you're dealing with a little bit of fear about riding, one thing that can help ease those concerns is wearing full gear. You know, I know it is mine. You know, you wear full gear, you're giving yourself a better chance in case the unexpected happen, right? The next thing, sometimes we just have to get out of our head, right? And I speak from from experience as someone who spends way too much time in his head, you know, second guessing decisions and worrying about things that may or may not happen. I tell you, sometimes you just gotta get out of your head and do. But when you do, take it easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. That's the most important thing, I think. Don't beat yourself down, you know. Look, I said it before, I talk to myself a lot, which is probably why I'm transitioning into this YouTube thing, because when I'm writing, I usually use that time inside my helmet to clear my head, and sometimes that involves talking to myself. So I found useful to encourage myself when I was getting ready to head on a ride and I was a little afraid of, you know, of riding. Things like, hey, Freddy, you got this. Like, hey, Freddy, you're gonna have fun. This is gonna be good for you. It sounds stupid. I'm telling you, it's embarrassing. Honestly, it's a little embarrassing to admit it, but hey, you'll get that from me. You'll get just brutal honesty, and that's something I did. I would talk to myself. I will encourage myself. I'll be like, yeah, Freddy, you got this. Like, you know, starting the ride, I will tell myself, you're gonna enjoy this. You know, just have faith in yourself, have faith in your skills, and I will go. And I don't know if he did it or not, but hey, I'm riding. And there was a time when I was really like terrified of the bike, because I came back to riding and I jumped into this fucking thing, you know, instead of taking it easy. Which brings me to the next point, you know. And this is something that only you can answer. You'll hear people give there's different thoughts on this, on the motorcycle, on your first motorcycle, or your motorcycle, the motorcycle that you choose when you're coming back to riding. I believe that's very personal. So once again, you have to do you. But when you choose your bike, take it into account. If you chose a bike and you feel that it's too big for you, then I say practice, take the class in it, practice, give it a shot. Because I think anybody can handle this kind of motorcycle. Once you have the right technique, the size of the bike is not that important anymore. You can set them up, you can lower the suspension or get a lower seat. If your legs are short, you can get a reach seat. You can get the handlebars closer to you. Yes, they are big. Yes, they are heavy. So if you have health issues, or maybe you have issues with your knees or something like that, then hey, that's a valid concern. Then maybe you should consider something else. But that's very personal. I say go and check them out, try them out, take them out for a test ride. Ideally you wanna do that before you acquire one. But if you didn't, give the motorcycle a chance. Well, again, it's up to you, but that's what I did. That's what I would do. And if you give it your best and it's still too big, dude, guys, there's no shame. There's no shame. Get a smaller bike. Just get something that you're comfortable with. Because if you don't like the bike, and if you're not comfortable with the bike, you're not gonna ride it. And if you don't ride it, it defeats the whole point. Like you bought a motorcycle, or you're thinking about buying a motorcycle so you can ride it and enjoy it and live your best life. And if you can't do that, then you need to do something about it. The other thing you can do, I didn't do this, but I know it worked for people, is get yourself a good riding buddy. But again, I'm going to emphasize, it has to be a good riding buddy. It has to be someone that, one, respects where you are in the journey, that understands that you are a beginner, or that you are getting back into the game, and respects that, right? So that person doesn't rush you into riding outside of your comfort zone, because that's the last thing you want. Like you want to ride your own ride, but having somebody can help. They can give you tips. You can see them riding. I know by the time I got to ride with a group of bikes, I was still getting back into riding. I have been riding, for a few months, less than a year since getting back into it. And seeing them on the bike, it did help me. But I did all my riding to regain my confidence by myself, But it's one thing to consider. If you have one friend, that might be a good thing. And then the last point that I'll give you guys is celebrate the small victories. And this comes back to be kind to yourself. Like, celebrate the small victories, even if they're silly. If you took the bike out, right, and you went to a parking lot and you did a couple exercises in it, and it felt good, and then you get home and just celebrate that. Be like, hell yeah, like I did it. I went, I conquered my fear, I put some good time practicing, and I did it, right? Same when you when you go on your first, long ride, whatever long ride means to you at that stage. I mean, a long ride can be anything from 30 to 50 to 100 and hundreds of miles, depending on where you are. It's very subjective. For somebody that's just starting in the game, a 30, 50-mile ride is a very long ride, and that's perfectly fine. Celebrate that. Those little accomplishments build your confidence too. And this riding motorcycles is about skill, but it's also a mental game. It's about your mind. It's about your confidence. It's about how you feel about yourself and the machine. Once you get that, once you put it together, once you put confidence with skill, and also smarts, like knowing your limits, then you're going to find this extremely enjoyable. So anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. If you found this useful, then please give me a like, a share, a comment. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe, maybe ring that bell so that you're notified when I upload something new. And thank you guys for all your support, man. It's always a pleasure. I always enjoy having you guys with me. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Love you all. See you on the wind. Take care. Oh, and ride safe, but ride.